As I mentioned at the top of the show, it's been a whole lot of do as I say, not as I do from the Democrats when it comes to slowing the pandemic. Let's welcome back our panel, Sinclair political commentator Ameshia, host of the Armstrong Williams Show, Armstrong Williams, member of the President's National Security Education Board, host of America First on Salem Radio, and Sinclair media contributor Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and University of Maryland lecturer Dr. Jason Nichols. Doc, I'll take Dr. Sebastian Gorka first. What's with these Democrats, Doc? What's with the California Democrats, some in Colorado as well? They tell us lockdown, don't meet family, don't travel, and they're doing the exact opposite.
Truly remarkable. It's like Marie Antoinette's ghost has risen. It's not just Nancy with her $23,000 fridge and her $100 per gallon ice cream. It's whoever you choose. It's Gruesome Newsom. It's Nancy Pelosi's nephew, the governor of California. It's the mayor of Austin. It's people who literally, the mayor of Los Angeles, Garcetti, says, let's cancel it all. He actually said, cancel it all. But not if you're a Democrat politician. Then you can go and see your grandmother. Then you can go to a wedding in Mexico. Then you can go to the most expensive restaurant in Los Angeles. This is the new aristocracy. It is the do as I say, not as I do Democrats.
Ameshia, what about the mayor of Austin deciding to get on a private airplane flying to Cabo just a little after he's decided that it's time for everyone to social distance and not meet family?
I absolutely think that it's problematic, but it goes to show what people of means, whether they're Democrat or Republican, have the habit of doing. Not everybody can afford to go on a private jet, so that's not a level of access that they have. But I do think there's something to be said about the amount of Democrats that we're seeing do this. We know that sheerly from jump, Democrats have taken this more seriously by and large, but there are some examples of things going wrong. But let's not forget, there was just a White House Christmas party last week. So this is something that is going around both sides of the aisle, and more people should take COVID-19 seriously than we're actually seeing do it.
You know, Jason, the difference here is these Democrats are saying don't meet family. Let's cancel Thanksgiving. Let's cancel Christmas. Let's cancel meetings. Let's stay away from family members, from other people. And then they're doing the exact opposite. They're going to restaurants. They're getting caught. You know what it is? And I talked about it in the monologue. They're not sorry for doing it. They kind of smile and apologize. They're sorry they got caught. Jason, I suggested fire them all. Your thoughts? By the way, these are all Democrats. Careful.
Well, first of all, I think that Ameshia is right that we need to model things a little bit better. And I want to tell your audience up front that I have a COLD, not COVID. But I think we definitely on both sides of the aisle that officials need to model what it is that they're trying to tell citizens to do. The president has done a very poor job of that to the point where he caught COVID, to the point where Rudy Giuliani has COVID. There's rumors that Jenna Ellis has it because they're not modeling what will keep Americans safe. And going to see your grandmother is a bad idea.
Jason, focus on what the question is. Jason, it's the political hypocrisy of Democrats saying, here's our stance on things. Shut it down. Shut the economy down, stay away from people, shut the restaurants down. And then they're doing things that are exactly opposite. They're going to different places. They're going to restaurants. They're flying. They're traveling. They're hanging out with their friends. It's the hypocrisy. There's no hypocrisy on the right when Trump says this doesn't matter. I don't agree with him. I think masks matter. But there's no hypocrisy. They say masks don't matter, and then they all get sick. That's not hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is when a Democrat says, shut the economy down, don't meet family and friends, and then they go do it themselves.
No, I think it's definitely problematic. I definitely think that Democrats need to model what it is that they're saying in order to keep people safe. Now, going to restaurants where there's social distancing, I think is actually a good thing because we want those businesses to get business. So I think if you are going to wear a mask into the restaurant, they are set up for social distancing and the like. I don't think the expense of the restaurant matters. I think that they actually need the business. So I would encourage people to.
That's Jason. I'm gonna bring it over to Armstrong. But the problem is these people on the West Coast and others are saying, don't go to restaurants. Shut them down. But bury these businesses. Meanwhile, when was the last time one of these jerks who are telling people shut their restaurants down, when was the last time they forewent a paycheck?
I actually think there's a much larger issue here. I think what the Democrats are really displaying to the American people that these protocols are very difficult. No matter how much you may advocate it, the realism of it is it's very difficult to abide by these guidelines that is put in place. And I think President Trump, on the other hand, really expressed and represents how most people feel. Many people like to say it's because of President Trump that people don't wear masks, they don't social distance. It's not about that. We're so accustomed to freedom and independence. It's very difficult for us to change something that we've been accustomed to all our lives. We don't want to live like these Chinese places that we see on TV wearing the mask. I think we all have to get to a point where we have to adjust. And then you have the COVID protocols that are always changing. One day the masks are okay. Sometimes your kids shouldn't go to school because they could catch COVID. And the next day they tell us, no, there's no issue about social distancing for kids to go to school. So much continues to change and so much continues for us to adapt to. And I think the larger issue is that Democrats need to admit more the reality of just how difficult it is trying to put these protocols in place.
All right. Allow me to get to Sebastian. One final thought. Again, Gavin Newsom he traveled to a $450 per plate dinner when he told the rest of the restaurants in New York to start shutting down.
You nailed it, Eric. Their only regret is that they got caught. And even when they get caught, they lie. Remember what Gruesome Newsom said. He said, well, we were outside. It was okay. Gavin, we've seen the photographs. You weren't outside. You were in that restaurant with your buddies. The rules don't apply. So my question is COVID not dangerous? If you don't have to wear a mask, if you don't have to social distance, what's the truth, Gavin and DNC?
Yeah, rules for thee and separate rules for me. Typical politicians are going to say thank you to Armstrong, to Ameshia, to Jason, and Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Thank you, guys.